Hello students, we are going to start chapter 2, Nutrition in Animals. In this chapter, we are going to learn about different modes of feeding habits, nutrition in amoeba, process of nutrition, nutrition in human beings and nutrition in ruminants. These are the topics which we are going to study in this chapter. First, introduction. In the previous chapter, we have studied about autotrophs, heterotrophs and nutrients. Once again, we will go through these topics. What are autotrophs? We know that plants prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis, which are called as autotrophs. So, plants, they prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So, they are considered as autotrophs. Heterotrophs. Animals, they get their food directly by eating plants or indirectly by eating other animals. So they are called as heterotrophs. So animals are considered as heterotrophs because they don't prepare their own food. They depends on plants or animals for their food. Next, nutrients. What are nutrients? Food contains different components such as carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals and roughage. So these are called as nutrients. So our food contains carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals and roughage. So they are considered as nutrients. Next, different modes of feeding habits. The different animals have different modes of feeding habits, and each animals have certain special features that helps to take in its food. So like amoeba has a special feet or false feet called as pseudophodia. They have a special feet which is called as pseudophodia, which helps to take the food. Similarly, lizard, frog, they have long sticky tongue to catch their prey. So the birds like eagle, they have sharp claws and curved beaks to grip the prey, to catch the prey and then to cut them into pieces. Similarly, butterflies, mosquitoes, they feed on the liquid food like nectar and blood. Starfishes uses arms to grip the mussels. It gradually pulls out the mouth and digests the mussels of the soft body. Mussels are nothing but they are shell. They are considered as a sea animal which is covered with a black shell. Okay, they are the sea animals. They are present in a shell. Next, process of nutrition. The process of obtaining the food, digestion, absorption and utilization of the food by the body is called as nutrition. So the process of obtaining food, digestion, absorption and utilization of the food by the body is called as nutrition. There are various steps of nutrition such as ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. These are the 5 steps which involves in the process of nutrition. Ingestion. The taking in of the food inside the body is called as ingestion. In humans, the ingestion takes place through the mouth. So we take the food with the help of hand and we put the food in our mouth. Next, after this, the second one is digestion. The breakdown of the various complex nutrients present in the ingested food into simpler and soluble substances are called as digestion. Now the food which has been and which we have taken in the mouth, this food has to be digested. Okay, so the breakdown of various complex nutrients present in the food into simpler and soluble substances is called as digestion. Next, absorption. Absorption. It is the process of absorbing the digested food by the body to reach the blood. Absorption means the process of absorbing the digested food by the body so that it can reach the blood. Next, assimilation. It is the utilization of food material for the process of growth, reproduction, or repair of the living organism. So assimilation is the utilization of absorbed food material for the process of growth, reproduction, or repair by the living organisms. Next, egestion. The removal of undigested food and the solid waste material from the body is called as egestion. Egestion means the removal of undigested food or the solid waste material from the body. Next, nutrition in amoeba. How the amoeba take the food. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. All the 5 steps of the nutrition in amoeba occurs within the cell. Okay, so all the process of nutrition, that is all the 5 steps of the nutrition in amoeba occurs within the cell. So this type of digestion is called as intracellular digestion. They occur inside the cell, so we call them as intracellular digestion. At the incision, the false feed called pseudopodia surrounds the food to form a structure called as food vacuole. In the food vacuole, the digestive juices released which convert the complex substance present in the food into simpler soluble substances. The digestive food is absorbed, is assimilated to get the energy and maintain the life process, and the undigested food is thrown out of the cell. Now let us see the diagram. Through the diagram I'm going to explain. See, this is food particle. This is food particle. This is amoeba. It is a unicellular organism. Unicellular organism means containing only one cell. Now this food particle has to be taken up by the amoeba. So what the first step is, at the time of ingestion it prepares a false feed. This is false feed. This is false feed which is called as pseudopodia. This pseudopodia surrounds the food particle. See, the food particle has the amoeba has the amoeba's false feed pseudopodia has occurred. Now this food particle is surrounded by the food particle is surrounded by the false feed, which this is called as food vacuole. The food vacuole means a hollow part in which only the food particle is present. Now in this food vacuole, digestive juices are released. In this food vacuole, digestive juices are released which converts the complex substance into simpler substance and soluble substance. Now this digested food is absorbed, assimilated to get energy. Now this food has been entered into the amoeba, and the food is absorbed, assimilated, and it gets the energy from this food. The undigested food is thrown out of the body. And this process of digestion takes place in the within the cell. So it is taking place inside the cell. So this type of digestion is called as intracellular digestion. Next, nutrition in human beings. In human, hands help the process of taking the food in the mouth, which is called as ingestion. The digestion of ingested food is carried by the digestive system. We have the digestive system where the digestion occurs, and this digestive system consists of mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and anus. So these are the parts of our digestive system. First we will see about the mouth and tongue. The process of digestion starts inside the mouth. It contains different types of teeth. We know in the mouth we have different types of teeth. The teeth helps in chewing the food and break them into small pieces. The first set of teeth are called as temporary teeth, whereas the second set of teeth are called as permanent teeth. So teeth has been divided into 2 types, temporary teeth and permanent teeth. Temporary teeth, it consists of only 20 teeth. They develop in a child from 5 to 6 months till 2 years. Permanent teeth, they are 32 in number. They are incisors, canines, premolars, and molars are considered as the permanent teeth. Next, tongue. It is a flat muscular organ attached to the back. It helps to mix saliva with food. It helps to find out the taste of food and helps in swallowing the food. So this is the tongue. This part of the tongue, it is a flat muscular organ attached to the back from the floor of the buccal cavity. It is an important organ because it performs many functions. It helps to mix the saliva with the food. It helps to find the taste of the food. See, we can find this is the sweet. This part will detect the salty taste. This part will detect the sour taste. This part will detect the bitter taste. Similarly, this side sour, this side salty, and the tip of the tongue will detect the sweet. Next, salivary glands, esophagus and stomach. Salivary gland secretes a digestive juice called as saliva. Saliva contains an enzyme called amylase that breaks down the starch into sugar. Esophagus is a hollow tube that connects mouth to the stomach. Here, the food is pushed downward by the contraction of the wall. And stomach is a J-shaped structure. The stomach receives the food from the esophagus at one end and opens into the small intestine at the other end. The gastric juices glands present in the inner walls of stomach which secretes the gastric juices. These juices contains the enzymes that helps to digest the food. It secretes mucus and hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid kills the bacteria present in the food, and the mucus protects the lining of the stomach from the hydrochloric acid. Next, small intestine. It is the longest part of the alimentary canal. It is the site of complete digestion. Carbohydrates completely break down into the simpler substance called glucose. The inner walls of small intestine has millions of finger-like projection called as villi. These villi increases the surface area so that maximum absorption of digested food takes place. This absorbed digested food reaches to the blood. Next, large intestine. The undigested food that remains in the small intestine passes into large intestine. Some amount of the water is absorbed by the walls of large intestine and remaining waste is passed to the rectum and expelled from the body through the anus. So this is our digestive system. This is tongue where the salivary glands are present, and this is esophagus. Okay, this is the esophagus, or you can call it as esophagus. Both are same. So esophagus is a hollow tube. It is a hollow tube that connects mouth to stomach. So esophagus is this hollow tube. It is a tube which connects the mouth to stomach, where the food is pushed downwards. Here the food is pushed downwards by the esophagus into the stomach. Next, this is stomach. It is J-shaped structure. This is stomach. It is a J-shaped structure. The stomach receives the food from the esophagus. Okay, then the other end of the stomach is attached to the small intestine. So there are some gastric glands which are present in the inside the cell, which secretes the gastric juices. These juices contains enzymes that helps to digest the food. It also secretes the mucus and hydrochloric acid. The mucus, this is mucus which protects the lining of the stomach from hydrochloric acid. It is mucus. This part is mucus. In the stomach we have this part is mucus which protects our lining of stomach from hydrochloric acid. Small intestine. These are small intestine. Okay, this is the longest part of the alimentary canal. It is the site of the complete digestion. Here the carbohydrates completely break down into the glucose, fats, fatty acids. Okay, they contain the wall of the intestine, the inner walls of small intestine contains millions of villi. These villi increases the surface area so that the maximum absorption it contains villi which increases the maximum absorption of digested food. Then from here the digestive food reaches the blood. Then this small intestine is attached with the large intestine. The undigested food that remains in the small intestine passes into the large intestine. Some amount of water is also absorbed by the walls of large intestine, and remaining waste comes out through rectum from the anus. So this is the digestive system of our body. Mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. Next, nutrition in ruminants. All plant cells consist of a complex carbohydrate called as cellulose. This cellulose cannot be digested by the animals. So they have a special digestion system which are considered as ruminants. Digestion of cellulose require a special digestive system in which the stomach is divided into 4 chambers: ruminant, reticulum, omasum and abomasum. In the grass-eating animals, half-chewed plant material reaches first to the first chamber of stomach, which is called as ruminant, where the bacteria acts upon the cellulose. The partially digested food enters into the second chamber. From here, the partially digested food which is back to the mouth is called as cud. The cud is further chewed by the animal. This process is called as rumination, and the animal that does it is called as ruminants. So ruminants, if you see the cows, buffalo, after eating the food, they again sit and they bring the cud from the cud into the mouth and they further chew that cud properly. Okay, so they are considered as ruminants. So this is a ruminant, that is a cow. I'm showing you the figure. This is esophagus. This is ruminant. Okay, small intestine, stomach, large intestine, anus. It's the undigested food comes out from the anus. So till here your chapter has been completed. Thank you.